Welcome to Foodytime. I'm Jay Fedigan, and this is part 2 of my Summertime series. In this episode, I talk with Laura Maloney, who's the manager of the Spirited Gourmet, a wine and fine food shop literally just around the corner from my house. Laura's always got the best recommendations and suggestions, so I decided to ask her, what should we be eating and drinking this summer? Enjoy. Laura, thank you so much for being part of Foodytime. And can we start, maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself and, how you got started, and, we'll give me a little insight into your background.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in Vermont, part of a big farming family. We had a huge garden in our backyard, and, grew up just really appreciating the land and cooking things from our farm, and then went on to have my degree from University of Vermont, where I am trained in clinical psychology and started my career out on that path. Decided that was not for me, and when I moved to Boston, I started working at Whole Foods as their specialty buyer and managing especially wine and food departments for them, as their regional local forager, which means like just getting local product into Whole Foods market in that process. And then as the educator, so just coming up with classwork on organics and organic food and wine and product, what we call Whole Foods Market University. So anyway, so worked for years there, took a little deviation to make some money in tech sales, but my heart was just not in it. And so then Meg, who I worked with at Whole Foods, was a buyer here at the Spirited Gourmet. And she's like, there's this beautiful small shop, and I think it'd be a perfect transition for you to get out of tech sales. And I was like, yeah. So so that was 10 years ago, and now I'm the general manager here. I've added the deli here, expanded the business like 4 times from when I started. And that's what we're rocking on now.
Wow.
So.
One of the things that I'm doing is a show about summer trends. Could you tell me a little bit about your thoughts about what's happening this summer, what's hot, what are your recommendations, both with the wines and beers, and there are whole new markets opening up with hard seltzers and a lot of other stuff that people aren't really aware of, not to mention the summer foods and cheeses and everything else. So, could you tell me a little bit about your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we could talk about this all day. There's so many amazing products for the summertime. But what I've noticed as a trend, it started a few months ago when Ellen Bang from the Boston Globe was like, I want to start talking about carbonic red. And so carbonic red wine is just, I'll really summarize it quickly, but what it basically is if you're doing complete carbonic fermentation, you're putting a bunch of CO2 into the tank, and then you're throwing whole clusters of red grapes into that tank. And what it does is it extracts strawberry notes, kirsch, banana, and all those really juicy notes from the wine. So they're lighter. They're not complicated wines, but they're lighter, they're juicier, and they're amazing for summertime drinking. My favorite one is from Joseph Jabril Winery. And Joseph Jabril was written up as San Francisco's winemaker of the year last year.
Wow.
And this is a carbonic macerated Pinot Noir, which means you're going to get like a juicy, slightly spritzy, light in alcohol, easy to drink in the heat wine.
And you serve these chilled, right?
Yeah. Very important. The cool thing about carbonic maceration or semi-carbonic macerated wines is they're not heavy on tannins. And so you're able to enjoy them with lighter fare, and you're able to enjoy them in the heat without feeling like, oh man, I've got that red wine alcohol flush, which I do like, but just makes you feel a little like you're enjoying something lighter and just more seasonal, I'd say.
Yep. Yeah. Now, So besides wine, of course, there are a lot of new products
Oh yeah.
that are new to the market that people might not be aware of or be familiar with.
Um, so we have lots of different things, and I was thinking because we consider ourselves the picnic masters, the sandwich masters here.
Mm-hmm.
That and summertime's the time for picnics. That I would talk about some amazing products that you can make sandwiches with or bring on a picnic.
Mm.
So I love this Koi Pantry pistachio butter,
Mm.
and it's from Turkey. It's just simple Turkish pistachios with the tiniest bit of sugar ground down. And it's the most vibrant, delicious pistachio butter I've ever had. I've never tried a nut butter like this. So
Wow.
Koi Pantry pistachio butter, it's amazing. And what we like to do is we like to cut it with a little bit of olive oil and lemon juice and use it as a spread for a sandwich. What I love is doing mortadella, which is essentially like bologna with pistachios in it,
Right.
thinly sliced, with this Koi Pantry pistachio butter that's mixed with a little olive oil and lemon juice, and either some burrata or some buffalo mozzarella. It's simple, it's delicious. You put it on some fresh bread, and you just are like, people are just amazed with how delicious that is and simple. So
And light too. It's
light, yeah.
Which is what you want in the summer or the heat. Is you want meals that are flavorful but yet are light and easy to enjoy.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's like get a little creative with your condiment, and it just changes everything, I think.
Oh, that sounds great. What else have you got to show us?
These are sun roasted peppers from Vancia that are from Sicily. And what they do is they just fry the peppers on trays in the sunshine, and they get really sweet and a really deep flavor. And they're packed in Sicilian olive oil. What a cool thing about Sicily is every single thing on the island is organic. The wine, the food, they don't have chemical or pesticide interventions for anything at all. And these are kind of just like a key ingredient if you want to make a killer salad or vegetarian sandwich. So what I would personally do, what I love to do, is put fresh goat cheese and the peppers and just a little bit of arugula, keep it simple, put it on a baguette. Amazing.
Kind of like a different take on sun-dried tomatoes, which everybody's familiar with.
Exactly, yeah. They have more umami. They have a more earthy punch and a different sweetness than the tomato, but they are absolutely fabulous. So good.
Right.
So that's another, secret to have in the pocket to make something simple and really good. And then another thing is I think that everything is better with butter.
Yes.
So I know the Ina Garten has recently, she has a trending video about how she says her favorite breakfast is having Rudolph Meunier butter on sourdough toast. And that's it. And I completely agreed with her because I only carry 2 butters in the shop. I carry Plowgate butter from Plowgate, Vermont. And I carry Rudolph Meunier butter from Normandy in France, because those are the 2 best butters you can get on the market. And do you know what I'm going to say next about butter and sandwiches?
I mean, I know every sandwich needs butter, but beyond that, I'm not sure what else you would say.
So I would just say, if you're bringing a sandwich to the beach or out as a picnic, it's much better to keep at room temperature if you're spreading amazing butter on that sandwich with just like a simple slice of ham or prosciutto and maybe a touch of Dijon mustard and some Cornichon pickles to cut it. It's amazing. It's simple, and you're using the best ingredients, so you don't need to overthink it, and it's always a winner.
Now, when most people think about butter, they're thinking about supermarket butter. What is different? What is it? What can you describe a little bit what the flavors are, or what it is that makes these stand out?
Absolutely. Yeah. So Plowgate butter is a cultured butter. So they're using the bacteria that you would use to create a cheese for the butter, which gives it a more intense, sharp flavor. And then they put Malden sea salt flakes in the butter. So it also gives it texture and crunch. So, and the butter is just highly like Jersey cow milk, best organic Jersey cow milk. And you can taste the difference with the good milk that's used. It's not mass produced. It's whipped in a traditional butter churn. And you can keep it for a lot longer as well because it's made like cheese starts out being made. So before it starts getting churned, you're getting those microbial enzymes going, and you're deepening the flavor, and it's more complex. It's outstanding. It's the best.
I know there's a controversy. I mean, obviously, except in the incredible heat like today. Do you keep your butter, just on the shelf, or do you keep your butter in the refrigerator?
Okay, so I'm very European. I would never put my butter in the refrigerator. I would never put my butter in the refrigerator when it comes to using it for like spreading on sandwiches. If you wanted to, you could get one of those butter things and put a little bit of water in a bowl and then put another bowl on top, put your butter and then cover the butter. And that can keep it for a little bit longer. But what I say is just keep a smaller amount of the butter at room temperature, keep the rest in the fridge, and definitely always better keeping it at room temperature.
Great. So what else have you got for us?
All right. So we've talked about using butter on sandwiches, and that's a very French thing to do. Instead of mayonnaise, you just use butter, and that's always awesome. But in Spain, they use membrillo on sandwiches a lot, or as part of a cheese platter. And membrillo is made from quince, and quince is a lot like crab apple. So if you have a crab apple tree and you try to eat that crab apple, it's really tart. And in order to eat the crab apple, you'd have to cut it with a lot of sugar. Well, what quince is the tart fruit of quince with sugar, and it's kind of like a gelatin that they make, and you can slice it off, spread it on your sandwich, and a really simple tea sandwich to make would just be quince and manchego. Yeah. So you get that sweet tart and you get the sharpness of the cheese. And it's just so simple, so delicious. So just the two of them just go together perfectly. And manchego is sheep's milk cheese that's pretty sharp. It's really good.
These different food ideas are great because people are always looking for interesting things to do, especially in the summer when you have a lot of family get-togethers and holidays and just vacation time. It's wonderful to mix it up and not just have the same old, same old.
Yeah, exactly. I think just nicer artisanal ingredients that people really spend a lot of time making. You can make something really amazing so simply with those ingredients instead of having to do a ton of work to get together yourself. I've seen a huge trend on non-alcoholic beverages. It's bad news for us, but we're trying to incorporate more non-alcoholic beverages just as people are coming in for the food and have them be available. Even as people are trending maybe not to drink during the week or cutting back their drinking, but still want to have something super tasty to drink as a non-alcoholic beverage.
Sure.
And what we carry, we have a whole bunch of different kinds of shrubs. So I carry these shrubs from Urban Farm. And they're two women from Cambridge Mass, that have started this Urban Farm shrub business. And what a shrub is a drink elixir that's made with vinegar. So the base of this one is raw apple cider vinegar, which is really good, for balancing those good gut enzymes, but it's also super tasty. So I love this one. It's a wild blueberry and basil shrub, which is very refreshing for the summertime. And so it's wild blueberry and basil, and then you cut it with some soda water and smash some fresh basil, put it on top. Delicious and refreshing.
Wow.
Or if you're feeling like a margarita, but you don't want the booze, you can use this watermelon mint and Himalayan salt shrub, top it with some mint, throw it over ice, have your sugar or salt rim and feel like you're having, a margarita. If you were me, I just add booze to that.
Yeah,
I
right.
would just add tequila. Which you can mix tequila with shrubs, and it makes a great summer cocktail mixer as well. But shrubs are just really good for you, and then a good way to kind of have something non-alcoholic if you want to go that direction.
Well, and a good option if you have people over, like if you want to have a alcoholic drink, but you also want to share a delicious drink with people who may not like or care to drink anything with alcohol in it. It gives you the option of everybody enjoying the drink, but not everybody has to have alcohol in it.
Absolutely. And my last one, which another thing where your company could have alcohol or no alcohol, is making an orgeat lemonade. So orgeat is an almond syrup, essentially, and you just squeeze a bunch of fresh lemon juice and about 1.25 ounces of orgeat, the juice of 2 lemons, and you then add club soda, or if you wanted to be a little fancier, you add some tonic, and that is a delicious, balanced almond citrus non-alcoholic cocktail, which I like adding rum to.
It's always an option.
In terms of summer things, I think Hefeweizens for beer are good to drink in the summertime. Something that's a little lighter in style. You have the Weizenfahner beers from Germany. I'm a traditionalist when it comes to beer. I like Kolsch and Hefeweizen made in traditional styles, but we also carry, lots of funky New England IPAs and saisons and sours and all that kind of stuff too.
That's great. Yeah. And also there's a big trend with hard seltzers, right? Something I'm really not that familiar with, but what do you think about those?
In terms of what sells the best here, the Cutwater tiki cocktails and margaritas, those sell very, very well. And they are really good for a cocktail in a can. We also have a lemon vodka, Fabrizia lemon drink from Sicily that drinks really well and is nice and light for the summer. And we're carrying a lot of your traditional cocktails in a can as well. Like High Noon and things like that, which you can barely tell have any alcohol in them. And they're just refreshing and easy to drink. Yeah.
That's great. I appreciate how prepared you are, and this has been terrific. And I hope that we get a chance to do this again. Thank you so much. This has been fabulous.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jay. Yeah, anytime.
Great. Thanks a lot.
All right.
We'll see you,
Jay.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Well, Laura certainly made some great suggestions, and I'm going to tell you after this one, I'm starving. This is Jay Fettigan. I'll see you next time on Foodytime.